This is Rock Leach with Social Fire. Pastor Ed Newton serves as the lead pastor of the Community Bible Church in San Antonio. And on one of his most recent church services with more than 25,000 attendees across 3 locations and staff and volunteers, when they want everything to be perfect, they were faced with a major distraction that ended up being a major move of God. They had a man started yelling profanities, and you don't want to miss this video. It's absolutely powerful. Now click that like button and that bell notification so you'll be notified every time we put out a new video while you prepare yourself for this video clip, and I'll come back with some commentary. Let's go.
Religious leaders are going, we ain't lost. We ain't lost. We ain't found. Absolutely love it. All right, so, hey, Anthony, I love you. All right, I'm gonna say this. Anthony, look at me. I'm gonna need you to stop cussing, all right? Can you stop shouting out cuss words? Is that all right? Hey, y'all hold him accountable next to him, okay? Hey, Anthony, can you do me a favor, brother? Thank you, man. You got him? Really? Okay. Come on, man. Are you homeless?
Yes, sir.
Yep. Come on. Come on. Well, let me, brother, what's your name right here next to you? Michael, did you pick up Anthony? Come on. Yeah. Right. Let's do something different. Yep, that's it. And I think I want to take a moment because this is the tension, okay? Because I'm like, I mean, you know, you got profanity, but watch this. And here I am like, hey man, and obviously we got, and Anthony, if it was just one-on-one, I wouldn't have corrected you, okay? All right? Now, you understand what I'm saying in regards to profanity, but watch this. But what, one-on-one, I wouldn't have done it. But the young ears in the room, so there's a little bit of that sensitivity, but watch this. But there is in this moment where you go, when somebody hears your story, that you were on the street and you got picked up by Michael, there's a moment where it puts it in context, where somebody goes, Grace, you with me? Grace, Mama, you okay? Yeah, okay. Prayer team, can you help me? Prayer team? Yep. Thank you. We're gonna connect you with some folks right here, okay? So in moments like this, you go the 99. Jesus leaves the 99 and goes after the one. And Michael, I'm just gonna say this to you, man. It's hey, if we can hold tight for just a second, okay? If I could just hold tight for just a second. I know y'all want to be a blessing, and I appreciate that. Just hold tight for just a second. Because I really, what happens a lot of times is, and I know what you're trying to do. I know you're trying to be a blessing, and there'll be a moment to do that. As a matter of fact, I think that there'll be some space to do that. It's just hard for me to try to own this moment when I got people coming at me. Okay, it makes me, it's hard for me try to be in a moment, and I got people walking up to me, okay? So just, if you'll show me some grace, and we're gonna make sure we take care of them. And I know you didn't mean anything by that. But I think what is happening with us in the room is actually that Michael preached the message. And that you leave the 99. Michael, would you come sit with me? I know this is going to sound crazy. Just come sit with me, Michael, if that'll be okay. And if I'll grab a microphone, can I have some help? Thank you. Why don't you come sit with me? David, thank you for coming. Appreciate you, man. Thank you. How long have you been coming here? You can talk to that microphone. If you say this is your first time here, I'm about to lose my mind. All right, so.
So probably about, consistently for about a year now, but I've been coming here since I was in college. And then, during COVID, kind of took a break and then came back. So probably about a year or two, I've been coming consistently.
Wow. And today on your way to church, how did you meet Anthony? Tell me how that went down, just the story of picking him up.
So actually, I was at the 8 o'clock service, and
you heard the message.
Yeah. So I didn't attend on any of this happening. Actually,
No, I think we all know that, right? So, yeah.
So I came to the 8, but actually came a little bit late. So I missed your first point. Was able to get through the second and the rest of it. Stayed a little bit for the 10 to hear the worship, and then I left, and I actually saw a homeless lady on my way, like leaving to go back home. And I think the sign said, "Hungry, please need help." So I decided to go to Whataburger to pick her up something to eat.
Incredible.
And thanks for clapping, but I actually didn't get to give her.
Valiant effort. I think we're clapping for the effort.
I tried her. Because she moved from spot to spot, so I didn't get to her. But so I had some food, and I tried to make a circle around to get back to the spot that she was at, and then I think it was at the Chick-fil-A or one of the restaurants close by the Whataburger. When I tried to loop back around, I saw Tony laying down by, the outside of it. And I had the food already, so I gave him some of the food there, and then we started talking, and he started telling me about his life and some of the hardships that he's had and how he's in a bad patch right now in life. And then he asked me where I came from. I said I came from church, like right up the road. I was on my way back home, and then he got up. He was like, "I want to go to church." I was like,
I love it, Anthony. I love it.
So I told him, I was like, "Right now?" And he was like, "Yeah, let's go right now." So I was like, "Okay, let's go right now." So then we came, and then
I know in my years of being a part of a team that did church consulting that many times these larger ministries, they are very efficient. They run very efficient when they have more than one service. They have to make sure that all the timing is right. You've got all these volunteers and paid staff, and all aces must be in their places. And this right here that happened was an absolute interruption to everything that I'm quite quite sure they had planned, because it is usually a mega church standard. When you've got more than, when you got more, let's just be real, you got more than 200 people, you got to have it together. But here is 25,000 people, and you've got one man that interrupts the service, and I'm quite sure he wasn't dressed like properly dressed. He wasn't dressed like he probably should have been according to the standard. He may have been smelly, but he had the word for the people that day. And I'm grateful that Pastor Newton was spirit-led enough to know that in spite of all the perfection that they normally have, God was trying to interrupt it because of the one. Listen, we got to continue going after the one. It was powerful when the young man who came up and talked to the pastor explained how the gentleman got there. That was absolutely powerful. Listen, I'm a little bothered, and when I say bothered, not in a bad way, but in a good way, because I love to see when God just interrupts our plans and throws the program out the window and says, I'm going to get some glory out of this service. You cannot forget who God is and what he can do. Listen, I want to know, what do you think about this whole situation? Because this was powerful. God allowed him to give a cuss word to interrupt the whole service so he could bless everybody with a real sermon. Let's talk about it. Get in the comments. Let's go.